Disinformation is rampant online. It is spread primarily in two ways. In this episode, we will discuss the difference between trolls and bots and describe how they spread propaganda and giving some recent examples. Then we will look at organized disinformation campaigns, their mechanisms of operation, and some of the bad actors behind them. Disinformation can be generated by humans who are paid to post and respond to inflammatory content. These are known as trolls, who often learn from and imitate legitimate social media users. Their goal is to amplify or suppress certain political messages while simultaneously drowning out any dissenting opinions. Trolls were active online following the quote-unquote Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017. Propaganda can also be generated by automated programs known as bots. Bots can post and repost content. Some are also capable of carrying on conversations with real users. It is clear that people cannot distinguish between bots and real people, and between fake news and real news. During the run-up to the 2016 U.S. presidential election, junk news was shared just as often as real news. Also, in 2017, hackers were able to use trolls and bots to effect the Brexit vote. They used the dating app Tinder to engage in flirty conversations with users. Then they changed the subject to the UK's Labour Party, promoting a pro-separation strategy. Trolls and bots are used to manufacture consensus. They give the illusion that many people support a position, trying to create a bandwagon effect. They can be managed by one or a small number of people who remain completely anonymous. It can often be very difficult to track down who is behind them and thus determine how many are out there and whether their campaigns are successful. Trolls also suppress unwanted messages through outright intimidation, spamming, and harassment. In other words, they are cyberbullies. One Polish journalist, after publishing content critical of Russia, received private Facebook messages threatening his wife and children by name. You can think of bots as spiders crawling the World Wide Web. Bots seem to be everywhere. By some estimate, they generate almost half of all web traffic, a third of Twitter posts, and 10% of activity on popular social media. In one study, it was found that accounts with more than 10 tweets, about half of them were created by bots. Bots are cheap. They're cheap to buy and cheap to use. They are often employed by mercenaries who are apolitical and motivated solely by the desire to make money. It is important to note that digital disinformation is a worldwide phenomenon. Examples of where they have been used can be found everywhere. China actively uses trolls to promote pro-unification messages with Taiwan. Are bots effective? The answer is yes. In many cases, trolls and bots drive interest online to a particular subject. Then this gets picked up by traditional media who rebroadcast the message. Several studies showed that bots supported Trump more than Clinton in the 2016 U.S. presidential elections, enabling him to set the political agenda. Philip N. Howard in 2020 defines a lie machine as an organized online campaign promoting false information and designed to influence a given target population. He says they consist of three components. The first is the producer of the lies, often designed to service the goals of a political elite. Examples include political candidates or parties, authoritarian governments, or others who simply want to cause disruption. The second refers to the distribution mechanism, how the lies get out into the public. Examples of these are social media networks like TikTok or WhatsApp. This component also includes the data these organizations collect about us based on our likes and search histories. The third piece is the marketer of the lie, typically a consulting firm or lobbyist who may benefit from the selling of the information. Few of us realize how much personal information we actually leave online. This information can be sold to third parties and used for marketing and political purposes. The classic case is the British consulting firm Cambridge Analytica. In the 2010s, personal data belonging to millions of Facebook users was collected without their consent and used for targeted political advertising. We all also unwittingly help lie machines when we retweet, like, or pass on information that we think someone else might find interesting. Think before you retweet. Ask yourself, is this information valid? Can you trust the source? If you have any doubts, stop. The data show that in almost all countries it is the right-wing extremists that get caught distributing disinformation. Left-wing and middle-of-the-road politicians are caught less often. But the practice is in use everywhere. By one estimate, in 2020, over 70 countries had organized social media disinformation teams, and that number has probably only gone up since then. Many of these have enormous staffs. Russia's Internet Research Agency, abbreviated IRA, is estimated to have up to 1,000 paid employees and an annual budget of $10 million. Its offices are located in St. Petersburg, and it openly advertises for positions. An example of how the Internet Research Agency increases political polarization is by having trolls or bots fake both sides of a debate. For example, one could promote gun control while another would promote gun usage. That is all for today, folks. We have a continuing video series on disinformation. If you're interested in learning more, please take a gander. In our next video in this sequence, we will look at how to fight disinformation online. Later on, we will also examine conspiracy theories and how we can stop those.